Hello and welcome to another one. We are out again, and as you can see over the top of Mrs. C's head, and yes, Mrs. C is out with us. It's a beautiful day, but absolutely rubbish for photography. It's a beautiful blue sky, absolutely stunning day, really warm. It's Saturday afternoon, it's about 12:30, something like that, so it's peak sunshine. We've got t-shirts on, we've got shorts on, as you can see, we've got walking boots on, and we've decided to come out for a bit of a walk. Very lightweight. We're only about 8 miles from home, but we've got one camera, one lens, no tripod, and Denise has got her camera with her lens. I've got a dozen batteries as per normal, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I've got a polarizer that I can use if I need it, but I'm going to do handheld, one lens, one camera, and a little pocket Osmo in my hand, and that's it. So nice and lightweight. We've got a couple of bananas, a bottle of water, and we're just going to enjoy the walk. We're doing the Sandstone Trail, which is Rawhead. So we're doing Rawhead. Denise keeps mentioning these lines. Look at the lines in the fields. I'm going to have to get that one. She keeps mentioning she wants a picture of the lines in the field, which is quite artistic. So if I see something that catches my eye leading to something, I'll probably take it. But yeah, she wants to get a picture. Look, camera's coming out. She's camera's coming out. She's got vertigo at the moment. We're both piled on the pounds. But yeah, I'm in a very similar place to what you saw in the last video. The last video I was in that little woodland just over the back there, Bockley Hill, and this is part of the same trail. This one goes all the way out and round, comes right the way round, and we've got a hill to walk up back to the car. So that's the plan. Come with us. Let's see what we have on this little adventure. See if we can find a couple of photographs undercover somewhere when we're out of this damn nasty sunshine. And yeah, speak to you in a bit. Come undercover a little bit more now, so we've come out the sunlight. We're going in a bit more of a canopy of the woodland, and this is an absolutely cracking walk. If you're anywhere around Cheshire and you want a nice walk, this Rawhead walk is one of the best, I think. In the winter it is absolutely smothered down this end where we are now. We'd normally go clockwise, we're actually going anti-clockwise this time. But yeah, this end where we come to is absolutely smothered with icicles. Absolutely fantastic. If I can find a couple of photographs from way back when we were here, I'll stick them up for you, just have a quick nose to what it was like. And yeah, absolutely winter wonderland. Really nice. Just had a photograph of the lines. You've probably seen the photograph, just a snapshot. That's all I'm probably going to concentrate on, just a few snapshots of the new growth, maybe some flower buds if there's any, you know, sort of wild flowers or whatever. The odd tree if I find something that catches my eye. The principles working on are similar to what I normally work on. If something catches my eye, then why has it caught my eye? If it's caught my eye for a reason, there's normally a photograph there. So that's what I'm going to work on, that sort of principle. And when I see something that catches my eye, I'll flip you around and I'll show you and give you an idea of why it caught my eye and what I can make of it. We both decided to wear shorts and there's stinging nettles everywhere, which is about typical. We don't normally wear shorts, but we just decided this today. We're not even bringing a coat with us. That's just going to be it. But we're just going to enjoy this. It's not about the video today. It's not about the photography. It's just about being out and bringing our cameras with us. And let me just flip you around. But this area here is one of the ones that's completely covered in icicles when it happens, and it's pretty phenomenal, to be honest. So anyway, let's just carry on, watch these tree roots as we're walking, try not to get any stinging nettles on our legs. But yeah, this is a stunning walk. I'm not sure how far it is. I might be able to put it up at the end, find out the distance for you, put it up on the screen. We've got some fantastic views. If you can see through the trees, I think it's probably blowing out through the trees. But it's a fantastic view right over into Wales, over to Liverpool and all sorts. But yeah, there's got to be something to photograph, that's for sure.
Save Paul talking for a change. He can hold the camera. I'm on this thing of looking for lines today, or should say lines keep jumping out at me. There's a little bench up there just going into all the undergrowth. But I've just stopped here and I'm going to see if what Paul thinks about this. See all the bracken that's coming up? It almost looks like a shuttlecock coming up with the lines. Yeah. So, but if there was a little bit of light on it, it would be nicer, but I just can't quite see it there yet. I can see the lines, but I can't see how to make it look good in a photograph, so I might have to get the master on it in a minute.
Denise's eye again. She's like I say, she's just mentioned these shuttlecock shaped ferns. And this one in particular, it looks pretty good. And I've just said to Denise, like she said, I'll let the master have a go, but she's pretty good at what she's doing. But from this angle, it sort of blends into the background a little bit. But come round here, it sort of almost segregates that one on its own. So I just said to her, get your camera out and give it a try. Denise is using the 18-55, I've got the 50-140 on. So we've both got different focal lengths, but it might be worth a shot. And if she gets one, I'll put it up and show you. All along this trail are sandstone, which is why it's called a Sandstone Trail. You get these big boulders every so often. This whole hillside is actually made up of the sandstone, which is obviously why we get a lot of sandstone buildings in Cheshire. But you get trees perched, there's a tree at the top there, just perched on the top of the ledge. But like I say, it makes spectacular viewing in different conditions. And we're just going to take refuge in this corner, let these people pass, because we're still on social distancing time, so we're going to just make sure we keep our distance from people as and when we have to. I've just found a photo, but I'm trying to find a gap in these trees to get it, and the long lens will actually do me a favour. There's a tree down in the field, and I'm sorry you're blowing out a little bit, but there's a tree down in the field, and the field's just been recently ploughed. That's the word I'm looking for, yeah. And because the sun's on the tree, it's casting a really nice shadow. But it's behind this lot here, and I can't quite find a gap. We might find a gap further around. Not that one, that's further around here. So if we find it, I'll switch it back on and let you see it, and see if I can get a shot of it. But I can see it through the gap in the trees, and it's one of them frustrating ones. You know it's going to work. You know it's going to work. You don't know how to get to it. But we will see what happens when we come around this corner. You never know, it might open up a bit. But the views out there are fantastic. Alright, so I've just taken a photograph. I'm just seeing a shot out on this space behind, so I'm going to flip you around and try and explain what I was doing. Unfortunately with this camera you've got an extremely wide angle lens, so it looks a long way off in the distance. But if you can see this little tree just there, I've just pulled the lens right out to 140mm, and I'm going to have to crop it as well to get it tighter. But I've done a horizontal shot. We've sort of got the layers of the dark brown, the light coloured grass, and then the land behind it. And then I've taken another shot of a vertical one, and I've tried to put the tree on the thirds, or really high up in the top of the image, and then have this patch at the bottom that's just lines sort of leading you into that tree. So I'm hoping that one will work quite nicely. But it's a big vista on this screen. On the other camera it's sort of something about there, I would have thought, with a 140mm on the crop sensor, so it's a bit tighter than what you can see there. But yeah, that little tree there just caught my eye, and I needed to have a look through the lens. If there was nothing down in this foreground, this blank space there would look pretty cool with the line coming up over to the tree, or if this field was a bit bigger so it's filled up the screen. So we'll have another look round, but that's the view in front of us, so let's keep looking. Stop it. Yeah, right, I've just stopped again. I've just come up a little bit higher. I've jumped up onto a rock, and I can see a bit further over the trees now. Oh, you've gone. There I am. You can see a bit further over the trees now, so I'm going to flip you around and just explain a little bit different. Right, so the difference is this time is the tree's gone up a bit further, so there's a bit more of a gap now between the bottom there of that hedgerow or the trees. So I might be able to try and get this leading line and then just cut it off on the top of that hedge and have the little tree on its own. So that's the plan, to try and get that sort of section in there if I can, and we'll see how that one works. Right, hopefully you can hear me. We've got a little bit of wind coming over now, so a bit of open behind us. Camera settings, I'm shooting at 5.6 to f8. Just to give me a little bit of speed. I'm at ISO 160, and yeah, I'm letting the camera work out the shutter speeds for me, but that's pretty much what I do. I've got the polarizer on there, which is obviously taking a little bit of light out, but it's just punching those colours out a little bit more, so it's quite nice. I might try one without the polarizer just to give it a bit of a go, but yeah, that worked out a lot better, that shot, better than the one down there. So yeah, quite favourable. That one could be the best one of the day. Don't forget, when you're shooting handheld, put your image stabilizer on. It'll just give you a little bit more. And a little bit of a handheld tip for you, and I've not seen anyone do this before. When you're holding your camera, try not to hold your camera like this. This is not very stable, yeah? So don't hold it out either, it's not very stable. If you can bring the camera to you, even though we've got a live view screen, bring the camera to you and act like a tripod. Tuck this elbow in so it's locked into your body, put your hand underneath your lens and get a good firm grip of the camera, and then bring it up to your eye. This arm then tucks in this side, and you've now become a tripod. The camera's very, very stable there and very unlikely to shake around. So a bit of a handheld tip for you. Grasp it from underneath the lens, good firm grip on the side, and shoot like that. If you go in horizontal, vertical, bring the camera around, and this arm will then come up. This arm comes up, this hand stays in the same position. You don't hold the camera this way because you've got more sort of a chance of movement. Hold the camera underneath and let it sit onto your hand, and use your hand as a tripod. So there, tip of the day, how to hold your camera handheld. Right, we are now going to head off that way. Well, we've just been up to the highest point, 227 meters above sea level. That's the highest point at Raw Head here. So we haven't stayed up there because there was a family up there having some sandwiches, so I didn't stay up there. It's just we're trying to keep the distance from people. You can see right over Cheshire Plain from here, as I explained the other day. I was somewhere in the wood over the back there, but this is really nice. It's a lovely walk. Even though my thumb is pulsating like so, I can feel it boom boom boom, which is not good, which means it's going to be pretty poorly later on. My leg's okay at the moment. Keep my fingers crossed that might be all right. I got to the bugger before he put too much of his fluid inside me. Still, yeah, just going fluid. Oh look, it's opening up again now, and this is the other direction. Again, it's probably blowing out. You can't see much there, or you can now. But that's looking over into Wales, that direction, and they're still on there. Just chucked a water bottle on the floor. Yeah, so you're looking over into the Welsh mountains over that direction there. They're still on lockdown. They're having the restrictions eased slightly next week. I think they can travel up to 5 miles to go and visit someone. So hopefully, Mr. O, we would have already seen you. I'm going to phone you later on. I'll give you a message and jump across the border. Come and say hello at 2 meters, that is. Right, I'm going to have some of your water. I'm going to try and no, I'm going to drink some water now.
You can, as long as you don't drink it all.
Have a stand up here and get the air blowing against our face. Photographically, we're not doing too well, so I hope you're still with us. Excuse me. Thank you, dear. Yeah, photographically we're not doing too well. There's not a lot to photograph, but it's just nice being out, and I hope you don't mind just coming along with us. It's another area we can come back in the snow. Like I say, I've taken snow pictures here before, and that was pretty awesome. In fact, that was probably the best snow we've ever been out, isn't it, that day? Yeah. Snow angels and everything. Yeah. But what we did realise is when we came back after the snow, because the snow I think was the first time we came up on this path, and as you probably noticed in some of the B-roll, that there's a big drop down to the side of us. And when we came up here in the snow, we had a walking stick and we were walking quite on the edge, and what we didn't realise was some of the places we were walking on the snow, there's actually nothing underneath it, but you only realise that when you come back in the dry, you know. So we were actually walking onto nothing. We've got a bit of an explanation of what's going on here. Beneath the hills, yeah, red rust red sandstone, 250 million years ago. So that's not too bad, is it? That's a few years ago, that was. Where are we? 34 miles along the Cheshire backbone. So there you go. I'll spin it round, show you what's on the board, have a bit of a read while I get attacked by these flies, and just admire this view. This view is something else. Have a little quick stop. Nisha's got the camera out again over my shoulder, as you can see. She's just looking at the steps that we've just come down with the lines sort of leading you up to the image. So she said, can you make it 3D? I said, well, I don't know, give it a try. Take the shot and have a look at it when you get home. So that's what she's doing, taking the shot and have a look and see if she can make it 3D when she gets back. We're now walking on a cliff edge, and I am not kidding you, this is a cliff edge. Check this out. Feet, drop, feet, drop. And that is quite some drop. That's a long way down. And so there's no fence here, but this is a particularly awesome view. One to be taken with a wider angle lens, like the one Denise has got, rather than the one I've got, because you just wouldn't be able to get it in. But I'll have a look anyway, see if I can pick a little bit of the subject off. I'm going to spin you around again and just show you this view. Just check this out. Look at that for a view. Absolutely amazing. And this beast there is really quite cool. I really like that. It looks really great in the snow, and it looks good in these conditions as well. And again, you can see right over to the Welsh mountains right over in the background. So yeah, a particularly nice view. So I think we're gonna have a drop of water, stand here for a bit and just soak it all up. Next viewpoint along is this one, and again you're looking over into Wales direction, and you've got Queen's Ferry and that down that way. Again, spectacular view. You're on the edge of the cliff. There is a photograph that I've wanted for a long time. You won't be able to see it. It's down somewhere down in that field there. There's a little tree, I'm not sure if you can see it at the tip of my finger, somewhere down there. It's a dead tree right in the middle of the field, and I'd love a photograph of that, but with the drone, something I can actually get to it. But I might try and take a shot from here, because there is actually another tree in the field, and I quite like that one tree on its own, and I think again it will make just a little minimal shot with the tree in the shadow, and then it's just a green picture, and I might be able to get it with both of the live one and the dead one in. So same again, I'm going to take a shot from here and see if it works, because after all I'm out with my camera, but I've lost my lens cap. Lens cap's fallen off my camera. I've knocked it off somehow, don't quite know how. We walked back a little bit, can't find it, so whether it ended up going down the cliff or not I don't know, but yeah, that's another 10 quid for some more K&F lens caps, unless anyone's got some they don't want, and then they can send them to me, or at least one. I'm only after one, so if you got one, please. Still, let's get a shot of this and see how it comes out. I think it might work actually, minimal. As I said earlier on, I got the polarizer with me. Go away, buzzing around my face. I got the polarizer with me, which is on the front of the lens, as you can see. And I've done a little bit of video with the Fuji just to show you what the difference is with having the polarizer on and off. It really does punch out the greens and pull out the greens. I'm not sure whether they're too rich, whether they're too green, so I took a shot with them and without the polarizer turned down as well. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the difference is between the two, and I'm going to put them both up for you just to have a quick look and tell me what you think. Do you like that rich green vibrant colour, or do you prefer the more neutral natural colour that I'm sort of seeing from my eyes? I'm not sure until I get back to the screen and have a look. I'm probably going to end the video here because we are not far from the back of the beginning of the path now, and
lines in the field, yeah.
We're going to sort of make our way back round that way, and there's not a lot going on. There's what? The lines in the field, yeah. Denise, any pictures that Denise gets, Mrs. C, I'll put up at the end if I haven't already shown you as well. It's been a while since you've seen one of her photographs, but in all fairness, she hasn't really had the camera out much at all this year. It's probably the first day out you've ever brought it, I think. So yeah, I think that shot will work. Another minimalistic, easy for me to say, minimalistic shot. And yeah, if I do get anything along there, I will bang it up at the end as well. But I'm going to cut it here. Handheld photography, one camera, one lens, and yeah, no tripod. Makes a change, doesn't it, really? So yeah, till next time, don't forget, like and subscribe. Leave me your comments, let me know what you think. Was this video worth making or was it not? You tell me. I'm interested to know, because it's just a real random video, to be honest. It's not a lot of photography in it. There's not a lot of photography tips. That shot was shot at 5.6, which is pretty much what I've shot the other pictures with, but nothing major. Maybe a little bit of handheld for you. So yeah, till next time, don't forget, tell a friend and all that. Mrs. C's going to say goodbye while she tans her legs. Ciao for now. See you next time.